All right, man. How's everybody doing? It's another episode of fucking Heavy Water 77. And man, we're going big today, man. Joseph, who do we got guesting today, man?
Yeah, I mean, we got one of the greatest influences and why I'm here. I wouldn't be here if not for this great guest that we have today, the great Ralph Viera of Almost Human. Uh, One of my biggest influences. I discovered his channel when I was probably like 12 or 13 years old, back before the Rock and Metal Combat podcast was a thing, before all of that. Back when he was doing I discovered him through the Kiss reviews because I'm an OMG Kiss nerd.
Me
But
too.
then I also discovered his Black Sabbath channel back when they were separate channels. And so I've been a huge fan of Ralph ever since that. Love his band. I have my Thrash or Die shirt over here, got all the albums. I even had the Merciful Fate tribute EP. That's
Yeah.
a great album Ralph sent me. It was a great, great recording. But yeah, we're super pumped to have Ralph here. Like I said, I'm sure Jerry feels the same way. If it weren't for Ralph, we probably wouldn't be doing this show. So really, really pumped to have you here. Like Jerry said, we're going big or going home. Our first guest is the biggest guest we could possibly get for this show. So there it is. There it
Yeah,
is.
cassette, the cassette. Not many of those made. That cassette was only pressed twice. And the guy told me, hey, do you want me to press more? I mean, but if you don't mind pitching, I was like, no, man, make that shit limited. I'm cheap. I, fucking money. So yeah, I got two of those actually.
Yeah.
They're very rare now. They're all out of print.
Oh, it ain't going nowhere.
And Joseph, thank you a lot. I'm glad I influenced you. Finally, I influenced somebody smart.
Well, I'm not as smart, but I everything Joseph said true. I came across the Kiss reviews, man. And 'cause I was a huge Kiss fan. I didn't know nothing about podcasts and YouTube channels. I just, browsed the shit and I came across, Almost Human 56 review. I think the very first one I saw actually was the Vinnie Vincent review, actually. Uh his debut album. And it was fucking hilarious, man. It was one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life. It
You
was
know, you
great.
know, you know what's funny about that review is that I say in the review, the singer sounds like he's getting hit over the head with a suitcase. The singer wrote me after that.
I remember you talking about that, yeah.
He loved my review. He said that shit was great. And I go, let's have me on the podcast. How
Yeah.
fucking cool is that? But hey, I just gotta say, this is my favorite new YouTube channel. I spread the word. Everybody should spread the word. Now, I got to tell you all something that just happened 2 days ago. While I was away in the hospital, I had a bunch of videos set up, and one of them was Styx Piece of Eight against I forget what. I'm pretty sure it was like a corporate rock band like Styx, how they want to call it. And by the way, corporate rock rules.
It does.
It does.
And somebody left a comment that said, I fucking hate Styx and whatever band it went against. I'm more into Venom and Merciful Fate and this and that. Now, normally I don't respond to people like that because they're so, but I had to. And I just wrote, I'm such a rebel. That's all
Short
I
and sweet and right to the point, man. Yep.
yeah, I can't like Styx because I'm into Venom and
Right.
Merciful. And then when he said that, I realized, shit, I need to stop listening to Venom and Merciful Fate.
Yeah.
Fucking idiot.
Man. But
Some
any
some people.
yeah, it's just they're ridiculous, man. But
And
before we go,
I gotta say too, it's cool if you don't like Styx. That's all right.
yeah.
But to give that excuse,
Yeah.
it's,
Oh,
what's that make me? You know,
Yeah.
I listen to Bo. What the fuck's wrong?
I, he
Yeah,
he actually he acts like Merciful Fate isn't one of your favorite bands of all time.
yeah,
right?
he ain't paying attention to me. Or maybe he's trying to tell me, hey man, you like Merciful Fate, stop with that foolishness
Yeah.
and leave Styx behind. But you see, Styx is a band I was into since Grand
Yeah.
Illusion. I even had the poster on my wall from the album. I'm a huge, humongoid Styx fan. I really am.
Right.
And that's why I'm so excited about your show because, you know, I let me tell you, I go to sleep every night listening to podcasting shit or YouTube. And there's a lot of nights I'll type in Styx Crystal Ball review. just to hear somebody talking about the goddamn album, you know? And then talking about the album and songs. You guys are like the whole enchilada, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Hell,
dude. Appreciate that, man. Really.
love this show, dude.
But anyway, man, we're gonna somber the mood a little bit because I think every show should pay tribute to one of the greatest, man. We lost Ozzy a couple days ago, man. I'm still reeling from that, man. He was, man, I can't tell you what he's meant to me in my life. It's like losing a fucking family member, man. It really was. I know Ralph, man, that was like Black Sabbath is your band, man. And if you want to say anything, I know you've talked about it a lot, man, but you want to
Uh,
say anything about it? Any memories, cool memories you have of concerts or anything?
yeah, I have a lot of great memories. Like the first time I saw Ozzy was with Randy Rhoads. Seen him twice with Jake. Seen him a few times with Zach and Gus G and Sabbath a few times. And yeah, since I was a little kid, man, I'm talking when Paranoid was a new album. My
Yeah.
brother, I was 5 or 6 years old, and that shit, Ozzy's voice on Electric Funeral scared the hell out of me. I ran out of the room. You know, that's the effect. And then later in life, We Sold Our Souls in Rock and Roll when I started buying because of, oh my God, Kiss. They got me into the heavier stuff. And then I go, oh, it's like a greatest hits, you know? Fucking love that. That album right there made me a huge Black Sabbath fan and my favorite band of all time. This was maybe 1978. 1978 to today with Ozzy. It has to be with Ozzy. The 70s stuff with Ozzy, that man spoke so much to me. And I got to meet him twice, which was amazing. And yeah, you know what, man? This hit, I gotta say, and the reason why I think this death hits me harder than any other death, and believe me, we've had horrible ones,
Yes.
right? The day Eddie Van Halen died, I played Fair Warning. The day Lemmy died, I played No Rest to the Wicked. The day that Dio died, I listened to Rainbow Rise. John Sykes, Thunder Light. Every day, every time somebody died, I had to play right now. Well, we'll talk about it in a second. Chuck Mangione died today.
Yeah.
I was playing that. Been 2 days since Ozzy died. I can't do it. I can't do it. And what I did, I try to ease myself back into reality. And what I did was I played the movie God Bless Ozzy Osbourne. And my God, that movie, I thought before, yeah, it's okay. Look, watch it now that he died. There's so many scenes in there where Ozzy's talking about kind of like redeeming his life, you know, and
Yeah.
talking about certain points of his life and his sisters, his brothers, his first wife, his kids, you know, and just listen to what this man went through, you know.
Yeah.
It was it was really a heartbreaking watch. And yeah, I cried, man. But I cried for everybody, you know. I'm a sensitive dude when it comes to people I love, you know. So yeah, man, Ozzy dying, fuck, man. You know, and another thing I want to say is, you know, because I get a lot of comments on my channel, and a lot of the comments, I'd say about 10% of them are like, we knew it was coming. Come on, we knew. You know what it was? Yeah, probably I did know it was coming, but I refused to face that reality because I didn't want to think of Ozzy dying at all. And he survived so much. I thought, really, I thought Ozzy was gonna. I didn't have a shelf life when Ozzy was gonna die. To me, he was eternal. I
Yeah.
wasn't thinking, well, you know, maybe 2 more years or 3 more years. No, I wanted Ozzy to die when I die. You know,
Yeah.
and
Right.
it hurts because out of everybody that died, I play their music. It's been 2 days, man. I can't listen to Ozzy Osbourne music just yet. I can't wait too. I'm kind of disappointed. I want to celebrate Ozzy's music, but man, this hit me hard, really hard.
Yeah, the first one I listened to was Diary, man, and it was just so somber and so it was hard to explain. It was like a loneliness, man. It's like I said, it's like a family member dying. I mean, he's been in my life since fuck, I can remember as a kid, and it's and I agree, man. It's just I've only cried for a couple people, that, these celebrities. That Eddie was one. Brad Delp, when Brad died, he's my favorite fucking singer. When he died, that was awful. And Rick Wright from Pink Floyd, because I'm a huge Floyd fan. But yeah, Ozzy's still, I mean, it's 3 days and it's still hitting me, dude. It's like I'm waking up with this heavy feeling in my heart, man. It's like, and how this guy was loved. It's like he was getting, remembrances by former presidents, shit like that. Obama, Bush. And we're all saying, you know, good things about Ozzy. It's amazing. I don't know if he knew how many people's lives he's touched. I mean,
He transcended a
he
rock
did.
because
Yeah.
he was the biggest rock star ever while he was alive, especially after the Osbourne show came on. Everybody knew Ozzy, like Housewives, the president. It
Yeah.
became more of a, Ozzy became universal, man. And you can't even say Mick Jagger's done that.
No,
You
no.
can't, you say Mick Jagger to Schmo, 9 out of 10 will
Yeah.
say Rolling Stones. Say Ozzy, 10 out of 10 will go, yeah, Ozzy.
Yeah.
Ozzy was one of us, man. He was so fucking cool, man. His
Yeah.
whole persona, his fucking voice. Who had
Yeah.
a voice like Ozzy, dude?
Nope.
And his persona, there's never been an Ozzy before Ozzy, and there'll never be.
Yeah.
There's many imitators that want to be crazy like Ozzy, Marilyn Manson, but only one madman. And he really was a madman. He
Yeah.
was, you notice to bite heads off pigeons? The bat I can excuse because he thought it was a rubber bat. But throwing pigeons, grabbing them, and biting their heads off, come on. That shit's legend,
And
man.
the ant snorting, that's another fucking legendary fucking moment, dude. Man, just
There's
damn.
so many stories on Ozzy Osbourne. Just,
But you never hear any bad ones from people. I mean, his peers or anybody, man. It was just love, man. Everybody showing pictures of him with them with Ozzy. It's like it's
the thing,
amazing, dude. Yeah, sorry, man.
there is a lot of people that bash on Ozzy because of the musicians they screwed over, but that's all Sharon.
That's
And,
yeah, I was gonna say that's Sharon.
and I know people say, well, why doesn't Ozzy stand up? He's like, come on, dude. I don't know either, man. I can never get that whipped. But he is, man. And he made her make all these fucked up decisions, and Ozzy got blamed for it.
Well, I
That,
guess, yeah, that's
that's the
true.
only bad thing I hear about Ozzy. Look at Bob Daisley.
Oh,
Just
yeah, there you go. My
Bob
bad.
Daisley, the guy that got screwed over the most out of everybody. He had nothing but nice things to say about Ozzy, thinking of how awesome and how much fun it was being in a band with him, writing music. And he also gave him credit for the melody. That's something that I keep yelling at people. Oh, Ozzy's no talent. Fucking
Yeah,
those melodies that he came up with.
yeah,
He
good point.
that lyrics, Bob would write it or Geezer would write it. But anyway, anybody that says, "Oh, Ozzy's no talent," you know what? He wrote the lyrics to the first metal song ever, Black
Yep.
Sabbath. He wrote the lyrics to "Fairies Wear Boots." He wrote the lyrics to the Writ, which, by the way, this Monday will be the 50th anniversary of Sabotage.
Yeah,
But
I
yeah,
mean,
Ozzy was a mega talent. That's another thing. A lot of people think, no, people wrote lyrics for him, but dude, he came up with the melody, just the way he would sing, deliver the song. I remember I had an argument with one guy online that said, "Yeah, right. That takes a lot of talent to sing to a riff like Iron Man." It's like, name another song he ever sings to a riff. Listen to Sabbath Bloody Sabbath. Listen to fucking Natural Acrobat. All that is Ozzy's phrasing. You know what I mean? The guy he was a fucking genius. He was a musical genius. He became famous for other stuff more, but really at the core of it, and I'm talking about functioning Ozzy. Yes, I know the later stuff, he's not all there, but boy, that 80s stuff and the 70s stuff, can't deny it. You just
Yeah,
can't deny the greatness of it. And it's not Bob Daisley. It's Bob Daisley and Ozzy Osbourne. They both, Ozzy. It's kind of like Elton John and Bernie Taupin.
right.
mhm.
Yeah,
It's like the same thing.
good example.
Well, Elton couldn't write lyrics, right?
Nope.
He wrote
No,
a couple songs. Bernie Taupin did all the lyrics, but Elton sang them the melody and shit.
Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah,
different. but Elton gets all this respect and not Ozzy. F you. You know, and then people, not too long ago, some guy left a comment, fuck that buffoon and this and that. I was like, no, you know what? Fuck you. Fuck you. This is the guy that invented metal with three other dudes and fucking rules your CD collection. You
Yeah.
know, people that love Ozzy, you know they must own something from Ozzy.
Yeah.
If they're a collector, you know.
Right.
Ozzy rules, and he was always ruling.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I've cried enough. I've cried enough, and maybe, well, maybe tomorrow, I'll give an Ozzy album a chance.
Yeah. Joseph, anything?
Yeah, I mean, with what you guys are saying, I've heard too many people in my lifetime say that Ozzy isn't a good singer, and I don't understand it. I can't because I'm sorry, Ronnie James Dio, one of the greatest singers of all time. Listen to Live Evil. He can't do those Ozzy songs. He can't.
No.
One of the all-time greatest vocalists cannot sing those songs, but Ozzy did, and Ozzy sounds amazing on them. And these are the people that don't know. They don't know the Rit. They don't know Sabotage. They don't know National Acrobat. These people know Iron Man, where Ozzy really isn't really singing that much. It's just like you said, kind of following the riff. That's what these people know, and they're like, "Oh, Ozzy's not a good singer." Well,
Yeah, yeah,
you're wrong.
that and Paranoid, those two.
Yeah.
You know, which are great songs, but compared to the rest of the catalog,
Oh yeah.
it's like the boys are back at town, Thin Lizzy.
Yeah.
Cool song, but they got way better tunes, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, the slow song Sabotage, Spiral Architect, Changes. I mean, his voice was amazing on those songs.
Changes, there you go, Changes.
I
How
mean,
fucking grueling is
yeah.
his vocals on that? How emotionally fucking goddamn. And this is a little fucking punk kid that's all he does is smoke pot. What was it? 21?
Yeah.
Before it was done, something like that. He's super unbelievable.
All right. You want to talk about Chuck Mangione? We lost him today.
Oh yeah, real quick, real quick. He died today at 82 years old, and I'm not normally into music with trumpets, but when I was a little kid, before Kiss, before I started collecting music, I was listening to radio a lot, and they played the song "Feel So Good," and I liked it a lot. It was a big hit in the '70s. That shit was played all the time. And then I don't know, like a decade so ago, I found it for $1. And I was like, oh, yeah, look, it's the name of the album's called Feel So Good. This is the album Feel So Good. I'm gonna play it. I like that song as a kid. Man, this whole album is great. And I'm not into trumpets, but this guy was a maestro. Listening to him now, every note this guy played on trumpet did not annoy the piss out of me. So yeah, rest in peace, Chuck Mangione, 82 years old today.
Yeah.
And of course, Hulk Hogan.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I knew of him. I never really knew. I couldn't identify a song from him, but I knew he was a horn player, and that's all I really knew. You knew him, Joseph? His music?
Yeah. Yeah. I've heard a lot of his music, and I was saying a little bit ago that when I was in high school, our high school marching band, we did a whole show of all Chuck Mangione. That was one of our every year we had a different theme for our show. One of our years was all Chuck Mangione. We played "Feel So Good." We played some other stuff. We also had a jazz band at my high school, and we would play every now and then. We play a Chuck Mangione song as well. So I mean, just very influential in that kind of music, in making that kind of music popular in the '70s. I mean, people don't know today. People turn on the radio. It's nothing but the same. It's just everything. Every song sounds alike. Just pop garbage. The things if you listen to if you have Sirius XM and you play like '70s on 7, they'll play the top 40 countdown sometimes, and they'll do like stuff like that. You'll hear 10 different genres of music in that top 40. It was nothing. No two songs in a row sounded alike. And
Dude,
you heard so many different things get popular that would never happen today.
No.
Joseph, when I was a little kid in the '70s, like I said, I heard "Feel So Good" on the radio.
Mm-hmm.
It would be followed by Led Zeppelin's Black Dog. That would be followed by Candle in the Wind, Elton John, and then it'll be followed by the Bee Gees. Had this huge eclectic. The radio was so eclectic and so like nobody bitched.
Mm-hmm.
People would bitch today. People would turn that shit off. Man, it was just a variety of music. Yeah, there were some stupid ass songs in the '70s, that would be thrown in there, like spiders and snakes and shit. But other than that, or Your Mama Don't Dance,
Uh-huh.
that Poison redid. I mean, it's hard to find a shitty song in the 70s. Poison did. And and I can tell you, man, there was very little suckage on the radio. American
I
Pie,
agree.
Bob McLean, that song's like 8, 9 minutes long. Every time I heard on the radio, they played the whole damn thing. You can't do that now, man.
Yeah. And
No, I was-
Bohemian Rhapsody too. They wouldn't
Yeah.
cut that.
Yeah.
Last week I was at a friend's house, like we were having a little like cookout, and they just had like a pop station on the radio in the background. I was there for like 5 hours. I heard the same song 6 times. 6 times. And it was like 3 different songs I heard like multiple times in a 5 hour period on one radio station. I'm like, I don't get me started on that, but yeah, the fact that back then something like Chuck Mangione could get so popular, and then
Yeah.
you turn around, the next song on the radio would be a heavy Zeppelin song, and then it would be a disco song, and then just a pop ballad, and then a singer songwriter, Joni Mitchell or something like that. It was it was something that even by the 80s it wasn't like that. By the 80s, most of top 40 was just pretty
Yeah.
generic pop songs.
Well, in the 80s, that's when everything was separating because you had new wave, you had
Yeah.
punk. Everything
Yeah.
was categorized by the 80s. In the 70s, it was a fucking free-for-all.
Mhm.
Amazing. It was so beautiful, man.
Yeah,
To listen
it
to,
was.
listening to Chuck Mangione now brings me back to when I was a little kid and how much I enjoyed music as a non-music fan. I only liked the radio, and I listen to radio all the time. But yeah, and just the eclectic nature of the 70s, and yeah. By the 80s, but shit, 80s is fucking paradise compared to now. But that's because, well, not you, Joseph, but we're getting up there in age, and
Yeah.
all our heroes are dying. They're dying, It's like we're living in a world without Ozzy, without Lemmy, without
It's only gonna get worse, man. It's not stopping with this, man. It's sad, dude. I mean, yeah, it's gonna be rough here. Then this next decade is gonna be rough, man. I think we're gonna lose a lot.
And the most beautiful thing out of all this is that Black Sabbath ended with the original four.
Absolutely.
Yep.
I tell you, this is the original four of Black Sabbath. Drummer Bill Ward suffered many strokes and still has a bad heart condition. Geezer Butler is still suffering from a COVID battle he had.
Mhm.
Tony Iommi still fighting cancer.
Yep.
But that's nothing because that cancer is gonna die from a fatal dose of Tony Iommi. We all
Yes,
know
it
that.
is.
And then Ozzy with Parkinson. Ozzy with a couple of weeks left of life.
Yeah.
And they went up there and they fucking ruled.
They did.
They made it right. They made it so fucking right. Oh my God, that's the only thing I can say, about this. That's a glimmer of light is the legacy, how it ended. How it was just, that cemented it right there. Because you know what? Even the Ozzy haters couldn't say he sounded like shit before he died.
Right.
These couple of weeks, before Ozzy died, people were praising how good Ozzy was. Of course, he has Parkinson's, a little rough, but man, it's much better than many times I saw Ozzy.
Mm-hmm.
So it was fucking, God, I mean, I love that part, It makes me feel so good that my favorite band in the world ended it right, not with that damn 13 album,
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I actually like that album. I know I get shit for that one too, but we like what we like, I guess. But but anyway, yeah. I mean, let's see. He was a kid from the Cosby Show. He was the first one. What was his name? Malcolm Jamal Warner. Then Golden Earring. George fucking Koyaman, is that his name?
Mm-hmm.
Dies, and then Ozzy, and then today, a half hour before we started this show, Hulk Hogan died. It's like, man. But we're gonna let's actually talk about some happy shit, dude. Let's talk about Styx, man. What are we doing today, Joseph? Come on, man.
Yeah, we're
some
gonna
good
kind of
news.
wrap up our coverage of the Wooden Nickel era. We're gonna rank the 4 Wooden Nickel albums. We're gonna talk about these interesting re-releases that I previewed on Ralph's show a couple weeks ago when we did Almost Human.
I hope you're gonna preview them today.
Oh yes. Oh, they are getting held up.
What's going to happen on this episode? I'm going to hold up the original, and then Joseph will give the ridiculous new ones on the cartoon ones.
Yep. And then we're also going to all of us are we made a Wooden Nickel greatest hits. We're going to talk about what we would pick as the best songs of the Wooden Nickel era in our opinions. So I believe we're going to be ranking the albums first, right, Jerry?
Yeah. We'll talk a little bit about this one. I think this is probably the last cash grab that Wood and Nickel probably tried to get with Styx, maybe. I don't know. It came out after Crystal Ball. What else do you have about this?
Oh, look at Joseph's.
They even put out a cartoon cover for this one.
But yours is that one's at least kind of close to the original.
Yeah, this one's actually like it's just like a cartoon reversion of the original.
Yeah, the other ones are bizarrely different.
Yeah. Yeah, so this is kind of it was another cash grab right after of course my pressing said 1980, but it did originally come out in 77, 78, right when Grand Illusion had come out. They'd been making it big. Grand Illusion kind of broke for them. So Wood and Nickel said, "Hey," literally right before Wood and Nickel went out of business. Wood and Nickel went. This was I think the last record Wood and Nickel ever put out. Was the Best of Styx, and I mean, it's an interesting greatest hits album. I wouldn't say it's necessarily. I mean, I don't think any of us would say it's the best greatest hits album because we're each going to be making our own here today. But I do. There are a couple on here that I do share with my list, and I'll get to that when we get to our list. But I think it's a decent greatest hits. I wouldn't say there's anything too egregious on here. They didn't put anything that I didn't like on this one, I would say.
Yeah, they just basically had to put songs that include with Lady, basically, because that was the money maker back in those days. So
I gotta say that now overlooking these songs, there's only 2 songs on here that are on my compilation.
I think there's 3 that are on mine.
Yeah, I have a couple.
Yeah, no. One of my favorite, I always loved Dream Theater, their greatest hits album. They put out a 2-disc greatest hits album and titled it Greatest Hit plus 19 other pretty cool songs because they had one hit. So I think this is Lady plus 9 other pretty cool songs.
That's how I always look. Hell, they renamed their second album Lady. I mean, the RCA version, I mean, anyway. But
that I didn't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the version that I'll hold up, it's called Lady.
Yeah.
That's
instead of Styx 2.
But it's funny because this one still says Styx 1 on top.
Yeah.
But then this is called Lady. Don't ask me. I don't know. They weren't smart.
It's because of the song Lady, man. I mean, they wanted to milk that fucking song for as much money as they can get from it, man.
Yep. The fact that on the cover the word lady is bigger than the word Styx.
Yeah. All right, man. So let's rank these albums, man. I mean, Ralph, how do you got them, dude?
All right. I'm gonna say, and this is probably unpopular, probably the only guy that thinks this, but I've been listening to Wood and Nickel stuff like crazy, and this will be my favorite one. I don't know. I know they didn't write much of this, and I know it's got some weird spots in it, but my God, a lot of my top 10 got these songs on it. That's my favorite Styx album. Why don't we all go by what's our favorite Styx album, then go to the next one?
Cool. My favorite is what was retitled Lady, Styx 2. I love this album. In fact, how you said most of your list came from Styx 1, most of my list came from Styx 2. I probably have at least half of this album on my greatest hits. And I just adore this album. Probably the most consistent of the first 4. And I think that it's definitely been my favorite that we've been looking back on. This has been the one that I've listened to the most since we recorded the episode on it.
Yeah, I agree.
I like how they kept the concept from the first album. They had the car again.
Yeah. There's some continuity here.
But that's where it ends.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
It ends bad.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I mean, this is almost a perfect album in my opinion, except for the fucking album cover. Can't fucking stand this album cover because it's like you try to slide it in your plastic, whatever, the X rips and all that shit. It's like, yeah. But yeah, I agree, Joseph, man. This is definitely their the best of the four. I love it. Not a bad song on it. I mean, fucking Father OSA, man. Jeez. I mean, that's a great tune, dude. And then A Day by John C, dude. Just incredible freaking songs on this album, man. So this was an actually easy number one for me, in my opinion. So what do you got next, Ralph? Yeah.
Styx 2. That's my second favorite, and I'm right. You guys are wrong. Yeah, dude. Again, there are quite a few songs on here on my list, but yeah, it's awesome. You know, it's a great solid album. You know, in a way, I will agree. It's kind of better than the first album, but the first album, I don't know. It's kind of like, Sergeant Pepper's the greatest Beatles album, but I love Rubber Soul more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's kind of like one of those situations. But yeah, and you can see my ex ain't even here, man. Anything else broke on here? Yeah,
The S.
Yeah, mine is too. Well, no, I still got mine on my S. So that's one part I got left.
Not me, man. And I've had this for woo.
It's not their worst one though. The worst one's Cornerstone. Sorry, that is the fucking worst album cover in existence, I think.
But I think that's pretty cool. The river.
It is, yeah.
Good
Awesome.
stuff. Man. This is my second favorite. Styx 2.
All right. What do you got, Joe?
All right, Ralph, get ready to laugh.
Oh.
The worst album cover of all time.
Yep.
Man of Miracles. What does this have to do with anything?
Exactly.
What is this? There's a plane. There's women diving into a pool. Like, what does that have to do with Man of Miracles? In the slightest.
Jerry has it too.
Yeah. But
this is definitely fucking better.
Ralph and I were talking about that a few days ago. That is like one of the greatest Styx album covers of all time.
Yeah.
And then they did this crap. And I have no idea. Like, there's literally nothing on this cover that would relate it to the album Man of Miracles in the slightest.
It's like my daughter's great. Yeah, my daughter could draw better than that when she was 5 or 6, man. I just don't get that, man. It's like
this is the one I don't get.
It probably was the record company's daughter that drew that.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
And she was younger than your daughter.
But I mean, the songs on this, the one thing I will say, the one thing that I really do love about this repress is that it includes unfinished song on it. I adore that song. Might be talking about that one later, but I mean, there's so many great songs on here. Just a great way to close out the Wood and Nickel era, in my opinion. My second favorite of the Wood and Nickel albums.
Well, my third favorite is, and yeah, I was telling Joseph the other day, and after I stopped talking with you, Joseph, I went straight to Amazon because I want to buy a shirt. Because I think this is the coolest Styx album ever, even from the later stuff. This is my favorite. And Amazon didn't have it. I went on eBay and they had plenty, but a little pricey. So I'll keep checking. But yeah, dude, this album's fucking great. That actually, when I wasn't listening to too much Wood and Nickel here and there, this was my favorite. But then when I just couldn't stop playing it, But I love this album. This is a fantastic album.
Yeah.
Man of Miracles.
Yeah.
Did you say what your second favorite was, Jerry?
I thought I did when I put up Man of Miracles with you.
Did you?
But,
cool.
Yeah.
Cool. So my third favorite then is the debut, Styx 1. I agree with Ralph. Great stuff on here, even though they didn't write most of it. Still think there's some great songs on here. And even the songs that I don't think the songwriting is that good, the musicianship is just amazing on here. Like we've been talking about on all of our Wood and Nickel reviews, the Panazzo brothers really shine on these Wood and Nickel albums compared to they kind of had to tone themselves down a little bit later. I mean, you still hear some of their playing come through on the later albums, but really these Wood and Nickel albums are where the Panazzo brothers shine as a rhythm section. But yeah, there's some really, really great stuff on here as well. Not a dud in the lot so far. Just 3 great albums, in my opinion, so far.
Yeah, I got to go with Serpent on that one and put my third favorite one. Again, I guess I kind of understand the cover and what it's supposed to represent, but yeah, this is a great album too. But man, you take your choice of which one's worse on this one. I don't get the regular album cover either. It's a bunch of fucking.
I like it. It's kind of ZZ Top.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of I don't know. But yeah, this has some of my favorite songs from Styx on here, man. I'm a huge 22 Years fan. That's one of my favorite songs. So I had to put this one slightly above my number four. Number four, Ralph.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Not many are on my list from this album. This album's not bad. I do dig it. I just happen to like the other songs more. But it does have its moments, and I believe one of these songs I really like that made it on my list. Like the best song on here. Maybe two of them. But why don't I see 22 years on
It's
there?
on there. Yeah.
It's not on mine though. I mean, at least not written in the back.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, The Serpent is Rising. It's amazing how this band has released albums that sell like fucking 200 copies, and they keep making more albums.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's cool. But yeah, I dig it. And I dig it. Just my least favorite.
It is weird how they do it. I mean, they got like song lyrics on the back here,
Oh yeah, they have and they
but they
actually
don't
ported
have
that over
22
to this.
years. They don't have 22 years on there or a couple of
That's,
other songs.
that's why what I was looking for. It doesn't have
Yeah.
20.
Yeah, there's on the back, even on the repress, only 6 of the songs have lyrics on the back, not
Yeah.
all of them.
22
It's weird.
22 years is not on there.
Nope.
Nope.
It's listed on the track listing, but
Yeah.
it's not listed on, like, they don't have the lyrics on the back or anything.
Yeah.
Man, Nickel's hilarious.
They are. Like, the more I learn about Wooden Nickel, I'm just like, how inept can a record company be? Like, they didn't put any money behind Styx, and Styx was their big band. Styx was like the only band they had, and they didn't do shit for them. They didn't do anything, to the point where I think I talked about this before. Styx put out this like big magazine ad, um, like when I think it might have been when Lady was made a big hit. And they wrote like, "Thank you to this magazine for putting more money into our song than Wooden Nickel did," or something like that. Like, it was crazy. Like,
I mean, that's how they finally broke through, was radio stations,
Mhm.
articles like that. I mean, the record company wasn't doing shit, but the radio stations tried. I mean, they did try.
And then the
promote
fact that after all that, when the record company put like no money into Styx, that after those lawsuits, Styx had to pay them so much money.
Yeah.
And it was like, for a record company that never put any money into Styx, they made money off of them.
Yeah.
Anyway, I agree. This is my least favorite of the four. Not a bad album. We talked about it in our review. It's about 50-50. There's some weak stuff on here, but the good songs are really good. And I agree. There's a song or two that's on my list, but yeah, overall, I think this is the weakest album of the four for me.
Isn't that the one with Porcelain Toilet?
Yes.
Yeah.
Ooh, that song's rough, man.
It's a goof, man. I mean, it was weird, and it was cool. It was kind of cool how they made it like an anonymous track or like a bonus track without any
like a hidden track.
Yeah. That might have been the end of John Serluski's career. I mean, after that, they probably said, they're not going to give this dude any more credits on the next album, because he really didn't get much on the fourth album. But yeah, I'm gonna end it with this. The debut is my least favorite. It's still one of my favorite. I mean, it's still a great album. What is it with the '70s, man? These guys couldn't keep their fucking shirts on in the '70s, dude.
Yeah.
The worst is Orleans. That was the worst album fucking cover. And the Scorpions did it too. It's like, dude, it's like, put your fucking shirts on. I don't get it, but it is what it is, I guess.
They don't allow shirts in hell.
I'm hoping they're wearing at least the bottoms, but I don't want to talk. Well, never mind. I won't talk about that. But yeah, that's my least favorite of the four albums, man. It's got great stuff on it. I love Movement for the Common Man. It's that fucking great, right? Great.
That's my favorite song.
All right. So that's our listings of our top four Wooden Nickel era albums, and so now we're going to do our own top 10 list of what we think the greatest hits of Wooden Nickel should be. So, how do you want to do? You want to do it in album form, CD form, 10-1? How do you want to do it?
We can each do like a side at a time. So track 1 through 5 will go around, and then track 6 through 10 go around.
Sounds good. Ralph, man, start us out, dude.
Okay, start with the Movement of a Common Man, but unlike Wooden Nickel, I'll edit out the little talking part. I love every weird change. The drum solo I love all the weirdness, and the Dennis Young coming in. I think it's an awesome epic song. It's my favorite song from the Wooden Nickel era is
Oh,
yeah, this
cool.
song, Move Common Man. That would open my album. Then I'd have to go with Lady. You know, Lady's usually, I mean, the hit song's usually the second song on the album. Photograph, you know, I can go on. And Lady's and it's such a great song. You know, it's so bombastic and, you know, it's kind of like, you're my lady, you
Yeah.
know? Come here, bitch. You know, the last time I saw Dennis DeYoung, his wife was up there performing, and
Yeah.
that night he announced the 50th anniversary of their wedding. Isn't that amazing?
Wow.
Crazy. Yeah, he wrote that song about her. All right, the next, um, Quick's the Beat of My Heart from the first album. I love that song. That song is great. I love JY song singing on it. I like the structure. I think it's a well-written track. They probably didn't write it
No.
though. Number 4, Christopher, Mr. Christopher. One of probably my second favorite song off the Wooden Nickel stuff. What a song. It's just a great, great tune. And then I end it with, wait, no, I don't end it. We two more.
Nope. You got one more.
What has come between us? Another one from the first Styx album, right?
Yep.
Another great, great song. I love it. And then we close it with A Day from Styx 2. What a tune. What a great, and that, like, even when I was doing this list, I go, that would be a great ending, side one. A Day. So yeah, there you go. That's my side one.
All right, Joe, what do you got?
Alrighty. Well, actually, Ralph and I share quite a bit on side one. I also open it up with Movement for the Common Man. Great. My favorite song off the first album. Just really great, like Ralph said, all the different changes, the different movements. Like we talked about on our episode, the way that the part where it's the Aaron Copland song that Emerson, Lake and Palmer did a version of, the way that they do their version of it, I think is really, really cool. And then they add to it. I think it's awesome. And then my second track is Lady. Just like it is on Styx 2, it's the second track on Styx 2. It's the second track on my greatest hits album. And like it is on Styx 2, I go right from Lady into A Day. One of the best John Serlewski songs ever. Probably my favorite John Serlewski song if I look back. What a great track. And then keeping epics going, I'm going right next into 22 Years, All Serpent is Rising, for my track 4. One of easily my favorite song off that album. I think that's the only song from that album that made it on my list. But just an amazing track. And then I'm actually going to close out my side one with Unfinished Song, the bonus track that was on Man of Miracles. It's on the CD. I think it should have been on the album originally. I think it's a great track, and that's what I'm going to close out my side one with.
Yeah, they did it right by getting rid of Lies and putting that on the reissue, man. I agree.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great freaking song.
It makes up for the cover.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about that, but
it tries to make up for the cover.
Yeah. All right. All right, I'm going to start out with Movement for the Common Man as well. You know, the messed up part about the street collage part is where it comes in. It's like this jamming solo happening, it's a killer ass jam, then it stops, and then this talking part comes in. I don't mind it per se, but I mean, I could do with or without it. But I think it's the placement maybe where it's, you know, a little off. I think, but I don't mind it though. I think it's pretty. But my number 2 song is, you both mentioned it, A Day. I mean, fuck, dude. I mean, it's got everything in it. It's got prog, it's got jazzy feeling to it. It's got rock at the end. It's got everything. And just shows what a great musician John Saluski was, and a writer, man. And he proves it on that one. And then my next one is off Serpent in 22 Years. I mean, that's probably my favorite Wooden Nickel song. And then I'm gonna go with Miracles. I'm gonna go Having a Ball, man. Love that song, dude. Killer ass song. I mean, JY back in the days was, I mean, he sang so many of the songs. It's kind of, you know, messed up how I know why he wasn't allowed to sing a lot of songs in the A&M days, because his voice really isn't the radio friendly. Maybe am I saying that? You think I'm right about that?
Yeah.
Unlike Tommy and Dennis's, where, you know, their voice just sounds radio for that time. But his songs were incredible back in the day, dude. And then I'm going to end it. I know you guys probably won't agree with this because I know a lot of people don't like this song, but I do. I love As Bad as This, man, off Serpent. I mean, I just love the acoustic sound of it. I like John's voice in that one. Take or leave the plexiglass toilet song that comes afterwards. You know, if you want to leave it on, go ahead. I'm not going to put it on my list, but it is part of that song technically. But yeah, As Bad as This, I really dig that song. So that's my side one. Let's go with side two, Ralph.
All right. My side two starts with I think the perfect song to kick off side two, 22 Years, which is the only one off Serpent is Rising to make my list. I love that song. It's awesome. Number 8, probably my third favorite Wooden Nickel song, Father SOA. That's off the second one, right?
Yep.
God, what a song. Dennis is just amazing. You know, I got to meet Dennis. It was unbelievable when I met him. Father SOA, and then number 9, Best Thing. That's the first album, right?
Yep.
I'm telling you, this shit's full of fucking first album songs. Loving gonna be the best thing. It's happy, but it's rocking and it's great.
And they wrote it.
And the last song I think would be the perfect song to end mine is Man of Miracles, the title track. It's a great ending to that album. It's a great song, one of the best songs on there. Again, kind of proggy, and I love that shit. So yeah, that's it. That's my top 10 Wooden Nickel era tunes.
All right, Joe.
All right, so I open up my side two with the song that opens up Styx 2, and that is You Need Love, a great heavy JY song. Then it goes into a song for Suzanne off Man of Miracles, another one that has some really great proggy elements on it, some really great stuff on that one. Then I'm gonna combine it, Little Fugue in G and Father OSA. They kind of mesh together on Styx 2. Little Fugue in G is kind of like Prelude 13 is on Equinox going into Sweet Madam Blue. So I kind of just combine the two there. And then I close it out with a double dose of Man of Miracles, Rock and Roll Feeling, and then close it out with the title track, Man of Miracles. Just two really great songs. I completely agree with Ralph. Man of Miracles is a great way to close it. In fact, it is what closes the best of album. That's how they close this one off. Is Man of Miracles is the last track on side 2 on this. So I agree with them there. So yeah, gonna close it out with Man of Miracles.
All right, I'm gonna start out with a Rock and Roll Feeling off Man of Miracles. Great freaking rocking tune. Then I'm gonna go with yeah, I agree. I'm gonna put Little Fugue in G along with Father OSA. Man, dude, that is such a great vocal by Dennis, man. Such man. Then I'm gonna go with Southern Woman off Man of Miracles. Fucking love it, dude. Great rock and roll. And then I'm gonna go with Unfinished Song. Beautiful song. I don't know why that wasn't released as a single. I mean, I'm on an album. I mean, originally, because it's a great freaking song. And then I'm gonna have to end it with you guys. What you guys said, Man of Miracles. I mean, perfect way to end that era of Styx, and a perfect way to end any greatest hits list from that era. So, all right, well, that's our top 10, our own personal top 10 of greatest hits of the Wooden Nickel era, man.
We all opened and closed with the same songs.
Pretty much, yeah.
And I want to thank Wooden Nickel for these album covers, and I also want to thank the Cartoon Network for Chelsea Styles album cover.
Yeah, I mean, just they're not the same. They're different. I know albums, but you can just compare the one of the greatest album covers ever to one of the shittiest album covers ever. But
and the fact that the greatest and the worst album covers they ever put out are the same album.
Yeah, that one's worse. That one's fucking worse, man. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. The fuck is that?
Yeah.
I used to have that first one with the car. I don't know what happened.
Mm-hmm.
But
RCA had to make their money back somehow, and I don't know if this was the way to do it or not. I can't imagine that these sold many copies looking like this, but
there's no man on that cover.
No, there's not. The only miracle is the fact that this even got out. That's the miracle.
Yeah.
Well, that's because it's not called Man of Miracles. It's just called Miracles.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They shortened all the titles to one word. The first album is just Styx. The second album is Lady. This one's just called Serpent. And this one's just called Miracles.
Wow, I didn't realize that.
Mm-hmm.
Even the album title. And yeah, it's like, hey, take man out of miracles out of that because we got to put chicks on the cover.
Yeah.
Don't put man on that cover.
Yeah. But I mean, like I said, this is Wood and Nickel's last attempt at a cash grab from Styx, more than likely. And I don't know what it sold or if it sold anything at all, to be honest with you. I didn't check that, but and their albums didn't sell very well back then anyway.
Yeah,
But,
none of these are. I think Styx 2 is gold. I think that's the only one. I don't think any of the other ones are certified anything.
but that didn't turn gold until before Grand Illusion, right? Or
Yeah.
after Equinox around that time.
Yeah.
I'm sure that album cover you got, Joseph, it sold more because it says lady on it.
Yeah.
Good point.
I don't know, man. I would think the greatest hits would have sold a lot because of Lady, you know, like in the early stages of them releasing it. Because back then they didn't really have many hits yet. You know, they only had like "Come Sail Away" and some shit.
Mm-hmm. Let me see if it charted or anything.
I'm sure it did well. I'm sure it did better than the other ones, except for Styx too.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure. Because, you know, people get duped. They see a best of.
Okay. The best of did go gold. This did go gold.
There you go. I figured it would have, you know, because, you know, people that weren't informed yet, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. Well, that is our review or whatever you want to call it. It's not a review. Our excuse me. Our personal 10 greatest tracks of the Wood and Nickel era, and some good shit, man. Like I always say, I think all of us will probably agree. We probably didn't hear this until after we were in the Grand Illusion and Pieces of Eight and all that stuff first. But if you haven't in it, if you're not into this era, man, or haven't heard it, go back and listen to it again or listen to it for the first time because it is amazing. It is great shit. Yeah. I'm glad that we were able to go back and listen to these and do this show because, man, I've been listening to all four of these albums a lot still since we did a review on them. So cool.
And the thing I love the most about it is there's a lot of bands where their early albums are on like a different label that you can't find anywhere. Yeah. Like you have to look hard for the first three Journey albums. There's some other bands like that where their earlier albums are on like a different label and you have to kind of find them. But Styx, you can get all four of those on a CD for $10. And I think that's amazing that they're accessible like that. Because a lot of bands don't have their CDs that accessible these days. And I think it's really great. It gives people the opportunity, like me, that was the first way I owned any of these albums was on that CD. So anyone who doesn't know these albums aside from Lady, that's a great way to just drop $10. You're getting four albums and they're great albums. So it's worth it. You're paying $2.50 an album pretty much. And I think it's more than worth it.
Yeah.
You're right,
great
man.
shit.
I've been playing that shit nonstop for months.
Yeah. It really is. It really is. It's fucking great music, dude.
Yep.
All right. Josie, you want to say anything, man? End this?
Yeah, I just want to thank Ralph so much for coming on. He had us on his show a couple weeks ago. We had a great conversation about all the Styx albums. And we have been planning on having him come on here, do this Wood and Nickel to be our first guest on our channel. And we really appreciate all the support he's given us over the past few months with us doing this show, constantly sharing, leaving comments. We really appreciate it. And we really appreciate you coming on today.
Hey,
I can't thank you enough, man. Seriously, dude. Like I said, we went big on our first show with a guest, so appreciate it.
I appreciate it, and I'm honored to be here. I really do, stand by the show, and I will continue to support and can't wait till what Joseph got to say about future albums.
If you want to you got an open invitation for any show you want to do, man. You just let us know. So
right on. Everybody out there, press subscribe on this channel, man.
Please, man. Yes. All right, y'all.
Even if you like Venom and Merciful Fate.
All right, everybody. Have a good one. Take care.